Hello and welcome. It's Matthew David, and we are here for our scheduled broadcast Sunday evening, every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Central. And I got a real good one for you guys tonight. Very powerful, something I've been doing in my life. And God's put it on my heart, and I want to bring forward some really powerful information for some people that haven't heard of this before. A lot of you guys probably have heard of this. So let's just wait and see who catches up here. All right, look at that. You showed up, Liz. So glad to see you. All right, we've got some more people showing up here. So I'm just going to wait and let's see for a few people to show up, and then I'll go ahead and we'll get started. Abel and Judy. All right, awesome. I'm glad you guys are here for sure. We're going to do a little bit of training tonight. We're going to do a little bit of what I do in the workshop. This is the book for the workshop. It's got everything in here is a process that we use. And we're going to talk about something powerful tonight that can help you a lot, because when negative experiences happen in your life, one time, you can consider it an anomaly, and you can just say, well, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge it. But if something keeps showing up over and over again, and I'll give you an example of how that works. According to German New Medicine, Dr. Hammer's work, we live our lives on these tracks. And so if you notice, if you've gone through something significant, what you can do is you can take your life and cut it in half and look at your life back at that time, and you'll notice a lot of the same stuff was happening in your life. And so we repeat cycles on tracks. And it's even deeper than that. And it talks about, in the Bible, we can talk about the sins of the fathers. And a lot of this stuff all has to do with us. So we have to take command of this. And tonight I'm going to show you how to take command of it and what to do so that you can break the spell and break the curse off of this forever. All right, we got, hey, Matthew. We've got, love that mind map to eliminate illusions. Oh, yeah, that one's a good one. By the way, if you haven't done this one yet, you can go to the Name the Fear Process Facebook group and add yourself. It's a very powerful way to bring to the surface the lies and opinions that we're holding on to that we should be letting go of because they don't serve us. All right, so hello, Tyree. Good to see you out there. And all right, so people are getting on board here. Awesome. What's nice is that we have always a kind of a small, intimate group. You know, it's kind of pleasant because God knows my heart, and God knows I don't like large groups of people. I just never have. And so I'm always able to conduct my affairs, even my workshops, in a manner where it's not a huge, large pool of people. I just don't like that energy. So whoever shows up tonight is supposed to be here. And we're going to talk about what I named. I'm going to look at the title of this. I want to give you guys the title I gave this. I said, the one forgotten secret to eliminate recurring negative experiences. And the reason why I say it's forgotten is because, well, it's not the most enjoyable thing. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to kind of piggyback on where I was last week and bring you forward. So remember last week, Wednesday, technically, I don't know, that was this week, Wednesday, I talked about how don't run from the pain in your life. Your pain is your best friend. Well, I'm going to carry that forward even now. And I'm going to tell you that the reason why stuck experiences are happening in your life is because of you suppressing and collecting them emotionally. And the reason why you do that is because of unforgiveness, guilt, and shame. And fortunately, by the grace of God, I wrote about it in this book, and I taught about it on the internet. It's called the Safe Touch Method, the Safe Touch Method right here. It's chapter 3, and we're going to do it right now tonight. I'm going to show you the Safe Touch Method. And the reason why it's so important is because there's only one thing that you can do to prohibit yourself from the grace of God, and it's something you do. God has already poured out the full blessing. God has already given all of the love in the universe that could ever possibly exist for you. There's nothing you can do to beg or plead to receive more of God's love that hasn't already been given. So what is it that blocks us from this love? You see, if we knew this love, if we had more of this love, we could never have a financial problem. We could never have a health problem. We could never have a problem, because perfect love casts out fear, and fear is the real problem. Fear is from the pulpit of Satan. And whenever you see something that is recurring in someone's life and something that hasn't been gone away with, it's because of a suppressed fear that is being held by guilt, shame, and unforgiveness. Now, the problem that people do, not everybody, some people are wise and they don't do this, is that they go around and they do this about their problems. They go blah, 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 blah. And what they're doing is they're dispersing energy, and they're actually distracting themselves from going through the emotional experience that is required to surrender and let that thing up and release it once and for all. Now, the other problem that happens is, maybe let's say this isn't alcohol, it's cacao, but if this were alcohol, people would do this. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, whatever, you know, they go to the bar and they drown their sorrows. Or they could do food, or they could do workaholism, or they could do any kind of escapism. There's all sorts of ways that we run away from our emotional pain, and we don't have to run anymore. You don't have to run from this stuff. You can go right into it with full confidence that God wants you to go into it. God wants you to get that out of the way so that you can receive more of what God has in store for you. I know this because I've lived it and I continue to live it. As long as you're in the human meat sack 5 cents body, you're going to keep repeating cycles and patterns. And as they come up, and as another cycle comes up to be dealt with, you have a choice. And you can continue to say, I'll go do something else, I'll distract myself. And it will get worse. It'll keep getting worse and worse and worse. Or you can just deal with it. And so what I tell you is, right here, I say, don't profess what's wrong with you, forgive and confess. Don't profess. Don't go around telling everybody how bad your life is. Just deal with the forgiveness and the confession that you need to do. And what'll happen is you will release the part of you that's clinging to the stuck emotional disturbance that is attracting that thing to you. Everybody loves the law of attraction. They're always like, oh, I love the law of attraction. It's so great. And yet, when something negative shows up, it's not negative. But when something shows up and it looks negative, what it is it's an outpicturing of some emotional pain, typically from a while ago, from some other time in your life. And it's saying, listen, you didn't deal with me the first time, So here I am, and I'm going to be a little bit louder this time. And if you do this again and you suppress it again, it'll show up in another 9, 20, 30 years, whatever. It'll show up bigger and better, and it'll say, listen, I'm back. So let's deal with it now. Let's get it out of your life, and I'm going to show you how powerful this is. I want you to think of the last time someone triggered you emotionally, powerfully. I want you to think of someone that really brought you to a dark place by something they said or they did, or something that sort of happened in your world that you weren't expecting, that threw you off. So go ahead and think of it. I'm a little bit ahead of you, so I got to let you catch up because the video is a little ahead of where you're seeing it. So I want you to tune into that. And now, by the way, while you're doing this, you're going to want to watch this again. Why don't you go ahead and click the share button on this video and go ahead and share this on Facebook, and it'll save on your Facebook wall so that you can remember where this is in case it gets lost, and you can do this process again. This is for you if you want this. Go ahead and share it on your wall, and you'll be able to come back and watch this again and remember where this is at. So recently I had another triggering experience come up, and it was just getting bigger and bigger. And I said, okay. I turned into God and I said, God, what is it you want from me? And God says, you're not going to get away from anything that you're creating. I want you to listen to this because I'm talking to you too. God is going to tell you the same thing, I promise you. You're not going to get away from anything that you are creating. Now, it's not happening to you, it's happening through you. So let's go to the cause of it. And what I want you to do before we begin is I want you to feel for 10 seconds, completely for 10 seconds with no resistance. Just pretend you're floating in a pool of water. Relax every muscle in your body and just open up your chest, and I want you to feel the hurt. I don't want you to judge the hurt. I don't want you to declare that it's good or bad. I want you to allow what's there to be there. And then I want you to allow it to be there even some more. And really tune in to that pain in your life. I want you to feel it and allow it some more. And this is when I'm going to pray for you, as I did for myself today. And I had a revelation, because when we ask and when we're in alignment with what God wills for us, we always receive what we ask for. There will never be a missed asking as long as it is in conjunction with what God is willing for you. And God wants you to step into this so that you can deal with it. I know this. So, the way that I'm praying is I am seeing God's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent perfection revealing itself. And that happens to you and through you right now. So just allow that pain to be there. You only have to feel it fully. If you fully feel it completely for 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, it will allow you to let go. And what'll happen is that part of you that is magnetic to those life experiences, that part of you, the pain that's drawing other people to show you that you have that pain there. That's what most relationships are on the earth plane, is until we become fully conscious, we attract someone into our life to remind us of what pain we're holding on to so that we can finally feel it and finally step into it and finally forgive and confess what we did to create it and let it go. It's all just a part of the process. Now, let's go to the safe touch method. So we're going to pretend you're doing it with a partner, and I'm going to be your partner. So you can look at the screen and you can do it together with me. It's a hybrid of you doing it by yourself. I'll show you. You just do as I tell you, and you'll get the result. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to think about the whole circumstance surrounding this pain in your life, whatever it is. And on a scale of 0 meaning none, and a scale of 10 meaning extreme, what is the level of guilt, shame, fear, or resistance that you have inside of you right now, particularly guilt and shame? If you want, you can just type it in the chat box, 0 to 10, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and you're going to look into my eyes, because I'm here doing it with you. You look into your partner's eyes or into your own eyes. And I want you to make a heartfelt, okay? The whole key here is that it has to come from the heart, not the head. Get out of your adulterated human logic. Logical prayers never get answered. Heartfelt prayers that are in alignment with God's will always get answered. So come into your heart. I intend to release any and all unforgiveness, guilt, shame now. You say that. I intend to release any and all unforgiveness, guilt, and shame now. Just say that out loud. Now, what I want you to do is we use the eyes, the hands, and the heart. And there's a reason. Now I want you to take the hands and hold your hands. And now for the next 30 to 45 seconds, silently, I want you to forgive from the heart anyone who comes to mind, period, including yourself. I want you to feel a forgiveness of letting go of that person for any perceived wrongdoing that happened, including yourself. And I want you to mean it from the heart for 30 to 45 seconds. If they come to mind, offer forgiveness. That's the rule. Okay. Now, after that is done, I want you to put your hands on your heart. Your heart. Out of the heart come the issues of life, and the hands contain bioelectric current. So we are going to put our hands on our heart, and we are going to self-heal. I want you to confess anything and everything that you feel that you did wrong or had a part in doing any perceived wrongdoing. Just confess it internally or confess it out loud if you're by yourself. Nobody's listening. Confess it out loud. You must confess. And you're going to do this for about another 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, now I want you to take your arms and cross them, cross meridians, grab your shoulders, and do this and say, I love, accept, and forgive myself. And you're done. And just take a breath and blow it out. Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to recalibrate how much remaining guilt, fear, shame, unforgiveness is still there. And it should have gone down. So go ahead and recalibrate and type in the comment section anything that you've experienced. You know, give me some feedback so I know where to take this. I want to know what's going on. Now, while I'm waiting for that, what I did today is I did this today. And because I'm asking in alignment with God's will, God delivered a whole series of life events to me. I did this like 3 times. And by the 3rd time, I was in tears. I was just a ball. I was a wreck. After that 3rd time, I felt all of the thing just lift. I felt like I was 100 pounds lighter. That is what is required to receive the blessing when you are holding yourself in a repellent state to it. That is your repellent force. You must collapse it. All right, so we've got feel release and tears for sure. We've got during the forgiveness, my body convulsed, jerk forward, release, feel much lighter. We've got tears. All right, much more at peace, much more at ease. Feel lighter. 4 came down halfway, relief. And then we've got it's gone. Could it be? Yes. All right, very good, you guys. Now, here's the thing. This is biblical. This is power. This is how you align yourself. Remember, true prayer is not about trying to make God do something for you. You know, ask not what God can do for you. Ask what you can do for God. You see, you're already a child of the Most High. And because God has so much wisdom beyond what our 5 senses can comprehend, God's not going to let you continue to be a naughty little child and continue to harbor anything other than unconditional, pure love in your soul, because it corrupts you, not God. God is innocent. You see, what happened is in the beginning, the problem with human beings is that we decided to become our own self-governing, self-reliant, take the bull by the horns, adulterated beings because a bunch of adults taught us to be that way. But in reality, the earth is like a big giant preschool for souls, and God wants you to be dependent on God alone for every good thing. And this is power. If you want to be in the flow, this is how you get in the flow. This is how it's done. Safe Touch transformed my life. I use it the moment I feel anything. Good. And the reason why it works is because it's God's will. When you pray and you don't receive, it's because you asked amiss. So instead of saying, God, please take away this pain, it's too awful, I can't bear it. Don't do that. Because that pain, typically, for most people, is something you're creating. And God wants you, instead of, here you go, where did I put it? Instead of professing it, confess and forgive. And that pain will go away. Because what's inside of you that's bringing it into your life will fall away, and then this will fall away, because as within, so without. And it's right out of the Bible. God can speak to anyone who is a willing participant. And because I give God the time of day, I give God the space, and I turn into God, God is a loving participant in giving these simple strategies that I've written about in my books. And then I use them, and I'm like, wow, God, this is great. And then I teach them so I can remember to use them.
Hello, it's Amanda with Alpha Upgrade. This is my favorite ritual. MOCAINE is a chocolate fat-burning energy-boosting formula that allows you to crush it. MOCAINE is packed with adaptogens, minerals, and vitamins to help you combat stress, always on your A game. It has brain-boosting power ingredients like bacopa, L-triosine, and more for the ultimate dopamine rush. Hence the name, MOCAINE.
That's just how the process of life works well. So it is power, rinse and repeat flow. So remember this safe touch. Remember this because it is transformational. And by the way, you can go to askuntilitsgiven.com and you won't get this beautiful hard or big copy, but you can get the digital copy for free. I've always made my stuff available for free in the digital form, and you can always get it. So some people say, well, why do you charge for your books? Well, I only charge for this one because it costs money to make this book. I don't charge for the digital version. So if you want it, get it. And if you have money for it, own a copy of this. I like to own physical copies of books myself. I like to feel, the structure is the message, was what Cloterra Pye said. I like to feel the thing in my hand. I like to have possession of it. And the Kindle's good too. You can have it on your Kindle. So now here's what I want to talk about. This came to me too, is if you got a need, God is talking about a seed, all right? Now, I'm not just talking about money. Money is a seed, but there are many, many seeds. You are a seed sowing factory. Everything that you do, any action you take, is a seed. Now, what's funny is that when you were feeling on a scale of 0 to 10, let's say if you were up at a 7, you see, you were having a consciousness that is affecting everyone around you, and that is also a seed. So if you're at a 7, then you're affecting your hologram, your world, your consciousness with the poison of that 7. And so when you declare, I have this need, make sure you're not talking about something that you need to change as a seed. Don't say you have a money problem. You start coming from prosperity and you start putting big money into God's kingdom and putting big money into giving, and you'll receive. If you got a love problem, don't say you have a love problem. God is infinite, unfailing, never-ending love. You don't have a love problem. You have a problem allowing love because you're holding on to poison that is like blocking you from receiving what you already were given. Ask until it's given. See that? Ask until. You ask until because you need to clean up what's in you, and then it already is. So then you start to receive and demonstrate it. Okay? That's how it works out. Even a lot of health problems, most health problems begin in the psyche and the emotions, by the way. So you always want to know this stuff. So we got Love It. We got Need Tangible books. Thank you for bringing Safe Touch. It's the least that I usually use in the bag of tools. I usually use it more. Well, you need to use it as often as you need it, okay? Because here's what happens. I talk about this in my workshops. I teach you how to do the self-betrayment technique with the ABC Big process, and we'll do the name the fear process, and I've got other things. All of that stuff is to scale, okay? If I feel good, I can feel better. If I feel a 5, I can get to a 10. And if I can get to a 10, I can attract some pretty bodacious things into my life. Now, the problem is let's say I get to a 10, and I can scale up with the self-entrainment technique to a 10, but let's say I have guilt that is at an 8, I'm only at a 2. I'm only at a 2 vibrationally speaking. So guess what happens if I can get to a 10 and I can get rid of this 8? I'm in a completely different vibrational frequency. I'm in a completely different parallel universe. Now, you may or may not believe that, but quantum physics proves that it's true. And even Jesus said, my Father has many mansions. And Jesus also wept in the Bible, by the way. So I want you to know that just because you can do this and break down and have tears, it doesn't make you less of a person. Some people are afraid to cry. I grew up in an environment where crying was not really like the thing to do. It showed weakness. But the problem is my grandfather taught me a lot of great things. He was like a real militant dude, you know, but because he didn't cry, see, he died of a very horrible cancer very rapidly. And yet if he maybe would have been able to get in touch with this and release whatever was being held, he probably would have had a chance, and he may not even have had that disease to begin with. So yin and yang is always a balance. You always have to have a balance. So get out of ease is disease. That's right. So what else do I want to tell you? Oh yeah, this is a good one I heard. To know you got to sow. You got to live by the seed. You got to live by the seed, and you are a seed. You are a bioelectric, vibrating, pulsating, magnetic, just generating thing, okay? You're like God's, little mini expression. God's having a relationship with you, and you're just sending out signals. And God wants you to not be corrupt, okay? God wants you to be pure like God. And how you do that is you become childlike again. You become innocent. You return to innocence. You stop declaring everything as good and evil. You stop holding on to all of this pain inside that keeps creating more of itself. And you start getting clean. You start getting clear. And you start living by faith and not by logic. And you start getting back to, to first nature. All of these things. And life starts to get really fun again. It starts to get childlike again. It starts to become enjoyable. You start to create. You start to, come up with all kinds of cool stuff. That's what I love. I love writing books, creating workshops. I just came up with this whole new magazine. This is everything in here is a process that we're going to do at the workshop, not the least of which is the Safe Touch method. And I'm working on my next book, and all of these things is childlike playfulness. This is childlike playfulness. That's where the power is. When you get serious, things really start to get screwed up. But the benefit of getting serious is that it'll bring pain into your life. And then when the pain comes, you can do exactly what we just did tonight and go through the pain. And all of a sudden, you'll clean all that stuff up, and then you'll get back to being playful again. So we got allow the flow of life to flow your life into joy, manifesting desires. That's right. Anything that you become non-resistant about, and that you allow, and that you just relax and allow, will turn into peace. And then when it turns into peace, then you can multiply that into a little bit more excitement and turn it into playfulness, into joy. And once you get to joy, then, you're on fire, you know what I mean? That's when ideas that are really meaningful will come to you. you're not going to get many good ideas that are coming from pain. You know, Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. You can call it whatever you want. I call it just negativity. It's just negativity. It's suppression. It's resistance. All right. Now I'm going to give you guys one more thing before we do some questions here. Let's see here. Liz asked me earlier about Theta. So as you know, I can live in a Theta state all the time if I want to. I've been doing a lot more beta brainwave lately. I don't know why, because it doesn't really serve me, but I can really get into Theta pretty quick. So if you guys want to get into Theta and you guys want me to show you how to do it, just put a Y up on the screen. And if you don't want me to do it, put an N on the screen and we'll just calculate who wants it and who doesn't. And if you guys want to do Theta, I can do it and then train you right into it. It's real simple.
I'm Chris with Complete Essentials. Do you want to feel your best every day? Not sure what vitamins or supplements to use? Minerals are the currency of life. Minerals are the most important fuel our bodies require. Without minerals, vitamins cannot work. Shockingly, most people are deficient because our food supply lacks what we need. Discover the fuel your body needs to get moving again and reap the life-changing benefits. Our free Mineral Secrets course, Monotomia, is the answer. Health means everything, so go to monotomia.com and get the info now.
And Theta, if you don't know what it is, it's just that your brain waves, when they're high beta, that's what you need when you're doing like like a study, an exam, etc. It's fast, it's logic. But logic is not the seat of power. The midbrain is the seat of power. You want to get into the alpha theta brainwave, and what happens is then when you're suggesting things to yourself, you become way more amenable to your own suggestion and other suggestions, so you got to be careful when you're in theta. All right, well, everybody pretty much wants to do theta, so let's go ahead. All right, so if you guys want to do this, then here's what we're going to do. First of all, take a breath, and we're going to do a box breath for 1 minute. Now, this is to help you drop into alpha. So I can get you into alpha first, and then from alpha, we can just take one more step and go into theta a lot quicker. So box breath, again, is in through the nose, 5 seconds, hold it at the top, 5 seconds, breathe out through the nose, 5 seconds, hold it at the bottom, 5 seconds, and repeat for 1 minute. Clock time begins now. I'll tell you when to stop. Go. Okay, now that's 3 rounds is a minute. Now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine yourself in a ball of light, iridescent light coming out of your heart chakra. Close your eyes and just follow along with me. Take yourself in this ball of iridescent white light and take yourself down through your spine, through the bottom of your feet, into the Earth's core and absorb the energy of the Earth's core, the grounding energy. Now I want you to bring yourself up in this ball of white light, up through your feet, up through your waist, and up and out the top of your head, and go up through the white lights, through the clouds, up into space, through the black and white lights, and up and out, and go into the 7th plane. And you are now in a theta state. So now I am in a theta brainwave right now. So In this brainwave, I'm very amenable to my own suggestion. So I can say anything I want, and affirmations will be very effective in this state. So every day in every way, I'm getting better and better now. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better now. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better now. Money flows freely and easily to me now. Money flows freely and easily to me now. Money flows freely and easily to me now. Even reverse affirmations. One rand dingling, mama. One rand dingling, mama. One rand dingling, mama. Now that was reverse speech for I'm a millionaire now. I'm a millionaire now. I'm a millionaire now. See, now I'm very suggestible. So who here notices a difference after doing that process? Anybody notice? Put a Y on the board if you feel like something subtle just happened. I'm still in the theta brainwave, so I can feel it 100%. And if I had my monitor on, you'd see the brainwaves going off the charts. All right, so you guys, all right, so good. You've got some Y's coming on. So now you guys realize that we're in that theta state. And it's a very natural feeling. It's what you notice before you fall asleep at night. And again, if you want to remember all this stuff, just put that, click that share button on Facebook and put it on your Facebook wall. And go ahead and archive this video. And you can remember the safe touch and remember the theta. Theta, I used a lot of theta when I was first building my first couple companies. I lived in theta quite a bit because I needed to be imperturbable to the world consciousness, because world consciousness runs a high beta brainwave, and that high beta 440 frequency is very chaotic. It kind of scatters the focus all over the place. And if you notice, most people have an attention of a goldfish these days. In fact, it's less than that. Human beings have less of an attention than a goldfish. So when you get into the theta brainwave, you can be very concentrated, very focused. And it's almost like being stoned, but you don't have the negative effects. And yes, there can be negative effects of being stoned all the time. If you're stoned all the time, you're allowing a lot to come through you that consciously you might want to be blocking out. You're too open to too many suggestions. Now, when you're open to the theta realm, you're still in control. You're making all the judgments. You're making all the rules. And so that's how I like to play most of the time. And it keeps me out of anxiety. And what's great about being out of anxiety is when peace is your alibi, peace allows you to have much better clarity and certainty in the direction of your business plans and your life plans, etc. And then you can make real concrete strategies. So it's very powerful. All right, well, let's open it up for some questions, guys. I've done all the teaching I want to do tonight. If you guys like this, give me some comments. Let me know what you thought about tonight. I really wanted to bless you guys. I wanted to bless you guys with some really powerful stuff, because many people are under some pretty powerful negativity right now. The world in general is going through a lot. The political scene, everything that's happening, we are under a lot. So we have to become stronger than the threat. So as a minister, my ministry is to always show you how to allow what you desire. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you stay above the turbulence so that you can always be in the flow. All right, so we got love. We got thank you. Sir, I heard about Midbrain Miracle. The Midbrain Miracle. Yeah, the Midbrain. Dr. Pillai, I do like Dr. Pillai a lot. Dr. Pillai does a lot of the meditation that he gave to Wayne Dyer. And that's when you can use the transmutation of sexual energy, bringing it up through the base chakra. And I've done this before. I remember one time I did this to, well, first of all, I've won every lawsuit that I've ever faced. And you will face lawsuits when you've made millions through your companies, because people are not going to agree with you, and you're going to do something wrong, and they're going to do something wrong, etc. But I remember I was finishing up this lawsuit, and I was like, okay, what can I do here besides Ho'oponopono? Because the whole time when all the negativity was coming at me, I was using Ho'oponopono. And then finally, I just did the transmutation of what Dr. Pillai taught, and it just was magic. So I'll show you how to do that quick. So the way that it works is you can imagine your spine. First of all, sit straight and put your shoulders back and down. Don't slouch, don't curve your spine. Put your spine straight, roll your shoulders back, and let them rest down so that you have a spine, a midline that is going like this and not bent. All right, so now in the midline, relax your neck. Just make sure your neck's relaxed. You don't want tension, you just want to be straight. So just start to notice a feeling, and you can do this like Shantam Nityama does. You guys want to see a master of how to transmutate energy of the, sexual nature, Shantam Nityama is the guy. And so what I'm doing is I'm using some of his techniques that I learned from the late Bill Kirkland, and I'm just stimulating the energy down by the base chakra. I don't have to physically touch anything. I just have to stimulate that electrical current through the hand. The hand as little micro conductors, okay, hubs, and they can start to stimulate that. Now, I'm going to take that energy and I'm going to bring it up through the chakras, and I'm going to bring it up and out the third eye. And the third eye is not up in the middle of your head. It's right here. The third eye is right behind your eyebrows. And you're going to send it out with that feeling. You're going to use the feeling of the ecstasy, and you're going to bring it up and out that third eye with the desire, the image of your desire. So if you want to, I actually did this back. I got a great story about this. I'll tell you this quick and then we'll do it. I manifested $4,000 back in 2009. And it was a scam, but it worked. Somebody's scam sent a fake check for $4,000. Those fake checks were going around. I ended up getting it. It ended up working, and I ended up getting to have the money. So I just want to let you know that you can manifest stuff. And you know what I did? I said I was going to manifest $5,000 by doing this. It wasn't 5, but I did get 4. And it came out of nowhere. So you can really create like this. So start to imagine yourself sitting in the base of your spine right now. And this is going to sound a little weird, but I want you to remember the last time that you had a very positive experience emotionally, intimately with somebody, and you know what I'm talking about. I want you to remember that experience and start to create those feelings as you sit in that base of your spine by those lower chakras. And now we're going to use the sound of creation, and it goes like this. Ah. And as we do that, we're going to bring the energy up. So I want you to do that sound with me and bring the energy from the first chakra, the base of the spine, and bring it up to right above the belly button. Now, you're going to do it again. I want you to bring that energy up to the heart center. Now get an image of what you're intending to create. You're going to use creative energy. The same energy that creates a baby, that creates businesses, it's all the same energy. Think about what you're going to create. Just get an image of it and feel the feeling of having it as you get into that desire, and bring the energy from the heart up and out the third eye. Now take it from the base of the spine all the way up and out the third eye in the same way. and pump that image out the third eye. You do that about 13 times, and then just let it go and completely let all of that manifestation handle itself. Just leave it go. Don't think about it anymore. Just get busy following your joy and let whatever happens, happens. And you'll be amazed at how powerful you are. All right, so any questions? You guys got any questions here? Anything that you want me to clean up or anything that you want to know before we get off here? So we've got a thank you. I'm glad you guys tuned in. It's always a pleasure to be on with you guys. I love the Theta mindset. Thank you so much, sir. Love you. I love you back. Feels amazing. Awesome as always. It was amazing. I love being here for you guys. I love doing this. This is what my heart's passion is. And, you know, as you do for others, it is done unto you as well. How often should we practice this? Okay, safe touch. Do it twice a day for a week. Do it like a detox. It's a soul detox. It's literally a soul detox. You are a soul. So you're detoxing your soul. Twice a day, morning and night, for a week. The other ones, as often as you want. I created Safe Touch. I'll tell you how to administer that. I did not create Theta. I did not create Dr. Pillai's technique. I would say you do those as you feel necessary. All right, hi from Bornholm, Denmark. Denmark, awesome, yeah. We may have spoken on the phone, I'm not sure. I talked to somebody from Denmark. This is priceless. It sure is priceless. It can get you what you desire. This was great tonight. Awesome. Well, it turned out well, and I'm really grateful because, you see, it started for me. The way that this started for me was a lot of pain started coming into my life, a lot of pain, and then I ended up getting sick. I got over my sickness. My sinus infection's gone completely, and just a little bit left of stuffiness, but that's nothing. But the emotional pain that came really heavy and really deep was a blessing. And I had to go and let this go. And so that's what's going on. And so perfect transmission, allow, thank you. Best hour of the day, so much to incorporate in our lives. Yep, there's always more. There's always more. But here's the thing. Fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. The late Vince Lombardi, I'm going to leave you guys with this story. This is the end of it. After they lost the championship game, the next season, what he did, and so he's the coach of the Packers back when they won, Super Bowls back to back. So when they lost the championship game, and literally you show up in the locker room the next season, and he pulls out a helmet and he says, "This is a helmet. This is a football. This is how you make a tackle." And see, he went back to the fundamentals. Teams win. And notice I didn't say people win. I said teams win. Even individual sports like boxing and wrestling, they have a team. Everybody has a team. There's no such thing as an individual that does it on their own. So teams win because of fundamentals. And so what I want to tell you guys is that for the fortunate ones who get to do the workshop at least once, you get to have a team and you get to do the fundamentals. And I promise you, if you do the fundamentals and you become a master of the fundamentals, you're going to get out of life all of the richness that you desire. You're going to get it. You're going to manifest all of the things that are the desires of your heart, because these are spiritual fundamentals that I teach. I don't teach football fundamentals or hockey fundamentals. I teach spiritual fundamentals. So practice what you learned tonight. Practice these things and get so good at using them that you have this cadre of tools that's ready for you whenever something shows up in your life, you can say, I've got a tool, and you just use it. Bam. Don't have to think. It just happens. And see, when you become that proficient, then what you have to do is you have to start teaching it. And then when you start teaching it, then you will become a master of it. And it is really delicious. So I agree, Mr. Luzak. Yes, it's perfect. Thank you. It's a blessing. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Spiritual Fundamentals for Prosperity and Happiness. Again, my website is MatthewDavidHurtado.com. If you want to learn the 321 process for prosperity, it's there for you. And if you want a free copy of Allow, my #1 bestseller, the first one that came out, that's free at that website, Matthew David Hurtado. This one is free at AskUntilIt'sGiven.com, #1 international bestseller. And so many tools, so much fun. That's all, guys. Love you guys. Take care. God bless.
Listen, Joey, you're wasting your time with all this secret law of attraction stuff. You've been trying to build your internet company for years. I'm tired of waiting for my cut. You know, let me tell you something. 10% of 0 is still 0, right?
I'm sorry, Don. It's just that I buy all these online courses and they never work. Then the old lady comes down on me for spending the money. I get negative and, you know, it bothers me. That's all. It's a terrible situation. What can I do?
Listen, Joey, I'm gonna send you to the rabbi, otherwise known as the Hurt Man, to put to rest this cycle of sabotage. He ain't cheap, but he gets the job done. That's what matters, right? So listen here. 9, 10, 11 of November, you're going to Madison, Wisconsin.
I don't know. My wife says we got bills to pay. The kids are planning a day at the jump house. And I want to start this new ad campaign. I think it will work this time. Don, it will work. I have this feeling. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. Look at me. Look into my eyes. You should be knocking down at least 10 grand a month for the family, but you barely scrape by. The thought of you doing more thinking just makes me nervous. And I don't like to get nervous, you know that, right? Let me give you some business sense. You're missing at least 120 grand per year for achieving your goals. And you know why? Tell me. You know why? It's because of you. You are the problem. If you keep doing the same things, you can't expect different results. You're stuck. I don't want you to be a bum.
It hurts me when you say it like that, Don. You can't just put me on the shelf. Come on. I just got some problems that need to be fixed. I'm a smart guy. I'm ambitious. I want to work. I want to make it big. That's why I'm here, Gabish, to ask for your help.
The rabbi is going to straighten you out, Joey. He's gonna take 2 of you into his workshop. But one ain't leaving. You feel me? He's gonna take that victim out of you and toss him into the river. I've been there. Let me tell you what I saw with my own eyes. He called Vic a lying worm, while Vic was saying he was doing things to better himself. Vic's blood rushed to his face. He was so red he became like a tomato. You know, he made him stand up and do 5 SETs, self-entrainment technique. And I saw him change. His old negative self died right there in front of me. What I saw next was beautiful. What emerged was great. For the first time I saw Vic in his power. He became a real man. I don't know how he sat down in that chair with cojones that big, but you know, it just happened. It happened like this. Boom. The rabbi has a special weapon that he's gonna bring in November, and he's gonna show you how to use it. You've got only 2 choices. Stay stuck and think yourself into more suffering or be transformed. I highly suggest that you take option number 2 and get your paper up, Joey. Let's drink some MOCAINE and go to allowuniversity.com. And that's it. I got a VIP spot for you, Joey. Oh yeah. So what you waiting for? Come on. Drink MOCAINE, call Sabrina, and get yourself a spot and be there.
I understand.
I think we both know this is the right decision, right? Hmm? Of course.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. I'm gonna drink some MOCAINE.
My smart guy. My Joey, now I recognize you, finally. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. You know what? I'm gonna call Sabrina. Let me call Sabrina. For you. Hey, who's there? Oh, this is Polly. I think he brought some MOCAINE for you. Are you ready to join the ride? Hmm?